Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. We hope you had a good weekend. Today is Monday, the 24th of June, as we definitely are into summer. We thank you for joining us, and we know a lot of you are catching us on Charter Channel 8, where we can be seen 6 days a week. We're also out there on the internet at blip.tv, as well as YouTube and on Facebook. And if you like us on Facebook, push that little like button. You'll also receive updates and uplinks so you know when each show has been uploaded to Facebook. Also, we welcome any suggestions you have for guests or topics. You can email us at owatonatoday@charter.net, or you can contact our producer, Leanne Alt, at 390-5751. It is, we're well into summer now. We're going to be concentrating on some summer activities. First up, we're going to be down with Brian Simon at Darts Park, out and about, with the Aces Baseball team, and they call them the Boys of Summer, America Sport. And people are going to be on the water, lots of water activities. And one of the popular water activities is kayaking. So we're going to be visiting Betsy and Marshall Wright, and they're going to give us many tips on kayak safety. So you'll want to be around for that as well. We're going to start with Brian Simon right on the other side of the break. So stay with us.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, this is Laura Ressler greeting you from the Steele County Historical Society's History Center, where we're honoring the past and looking towards the future. We're proud to be a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Larry Ostermeyer, and I play Caiaphas.
And I'm Raleigh Kittleston, and I play Peter in LTO's current production of Jesus Christ Superstar, directed by Jeffrey Jackson and sponsored by the Winger Foundation.
Performances of Jesus Christ Superstar will be held Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, June 20th, 21st, and 22nd at 7:30 p.m., with a matinee on Sunday, June 23rd at 2 p.m.
And again the following Thursday through Saturday, June 27th, 28th, and 29th at 7:30 p.m.
Tickets are available at the LTO box office by calling 451-0764. Don't miss LTO's production of Jesus Christ Superstar.
We are on location at Darts Park at the beautiful home of the Aces, better known as Chuck Fuller Field. Well, several teams in Owatonna play here as well as the Aces, but it's the Aces we're going to talk to tonight. As you can see behind us, they're practicing, warming up. They do have a home game, even though the weather has been a little rainy in that they managed to get some games in. And that's what we're going to talk about. We want to remind people that we do have just top-notch baseball going on down here, and come on out and enjoy America's favorite pastime. It's flourishing. We're talking with the manager, Brian Simon. Glad to have you along, Brian. And how many years have you been with the Aces?
This would be my 10th season with the Aces. This is my 5th year as unofficial manager, 2nd year as official manager, which means basically I get to take over scheduling and all the fun stuff that comes along with being a baseball player. Started out playing baseball when I was real little, 4th grade I believe, all the way through the system, all the way through Owatonna High School. I went on and played 2 years of baseball at Vermilion Community College and 2 years at Bemidji State.
You came up through the ranks, I imagine, to the high school team, along with the VFW and American Legion.
Yes.
Who also play here. And
yeah, I actually was fortunate enough to play VFW as a 9th grader. I got pulled up to play VFW, and I also was on varsity as a junior. And I was named all-conference as a senior, all-section as a senior, and I actually still hold the 3rd highest batting average in Owatonna high school history.
Well, that's great. So you do have a little bit of experience.
A little bit, yeah.
in baseball.
What was your batting average?
So, yeah, okay.
My batting average as a senior was .471.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is excellent. So, now, if someone was interested in becoming an ace How do they go about it? Do they have to try out, or
not exactly? We usually pull guys up through the high school system. Like this year, we got my brother Matthew Simon and Dalton Homeyer from last year's 2012 class.
Mm-hmm.
And every year it seems like we get one or two guys that come through the high school system. Otherwise, I have Brandon Wolf. He moved here from Sauk Center, and he got in contact with me and basically said I played baseball in college, and I said that at the time we had room on our roster. That's the biggest thing is we have space for 20 guys. So when it gets to that point and somebody asks me, I go, well, then we might have to have a tryout. Or see, the thing is, we can have over 20, but with playoffs, you can only have 20.
Okay, and your season is rather short, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, we pretty much, the regular season goes for a 2-month span, starting in about the 3rd week of May and ending in the 3rd week of July. After that, playoffs start, which is usually a weekends type thing, so we get a lot of playing in on the weekends. And our region tournament is actually going to be partially held in Owatonna.
Oh, and what's
hosting
the dates of that?
Would be the first weekend in August is the opening of the 8-team tournament. There's a 3-game series between the bottom 8 teams, and then 4 out of that come and play the top 4.
And with all the rain we've had this spring, how is it you've been able to get? You said about 11 games you've gotten in so far?
Yep, we are 10-1. We've been very fortunate. I've had to actually reschedule 5 of our games already, but we got 2 of them in on Sunday. We have a very nice facility here, thanks to the Minnesota Twins. They came through huge after the flood, and we were able to retile the infield, and that's a major thing, is having good drainage on your field. And whereas other teams in our league, they probably don't have the nicer fields like we do, and they've been struggling to get their games in, and that really packs the schedule in tight. So a great facility equals a better
More
opportunity.
enthusiasm from the team members as well, too.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how many home games did you say you have left?
We have 6 home games left. There will be 2 rescheduled games, and I always list the rescheduled games on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And the schedule is located on our team page. It's on minnesotabaseball.org under Teams and Owatonna Aces.
And is there an admission charge?
There is. We do charge $3 at the gate. Otherwise, a $10 season pass will get you into every game up until playoffs. Really, it's very reasonable to come down, enjoy a baseball game. We have great accommodations for fans. Our stand is completely covered. You stay out of the sun, you stay in the shade. If it does decide to sprinkle a little bit, you're covered, and very comfortable seating. Full concession stand with hot dogs, peanuts, popcorn, pop, Gatorade.
The full baseball. No Cracker Jacks?
I believe so.
Really? It's hard to find Cracker Jacks around anymore. Yeah. Now, what do you have particular nights that you play? Is it every Tuesday night or every Thursday or all weekend?
Actually, Tuesday night is pretty rare for us. This is a rescheduled game tonight as well. So, but Wednesday nights are always a Wednesday night.
It's reserved for the Aces?
Yep. Except for tomorrow night, because we do have a tournament this weekend, so I asked for a Wednesday night off. And then Fridays and Sundays with a few Saturdays thrown in. Fridays and Sundays, Sundays mostly are going to be travel days, simply because other teams in our league don't have lights.
Oh.
So we travel there and play day games on the weekends.
Okay. Now, to have this many players in the roster and to practice like you do in the facilities, you probably do have people assisting you. I mean, you don't do it all, do you? You're all by yourself?
No, I'm very fortunate to have a few guys around that have been here a while. Derek Keaty's one of them. He is listed as the assistant manager. Benji Hager's been here for 6 years. He is actually the grandson of Chuck Fuller, and he helps me out when I am actually on vacation or I can't make a game, which is very rare.
Keeping the legacy going of the Fuller family of the Aces.
Yeah. And I'm sure one day when I decide to step down, Benji would be glad to step in as the manager. And I got a lot of experience with our older guys, Eric Holberg and Brandon Wolf. They both coach at the high school level, so they know what they're doing when it comes to managing a game, and I have total confidence in them.
And they do some coaching as well? You have batting coaching and pitching coaches? That kind of thing?
Yeah, it pretty much goes, every guy's watching out for every other guy. So if you see something, you tell them. If they're dipping in their backside, or if they're not striding early enough, they'll hear it from everybody. So
where are some of the teams from that you play?
In our league, we have the Stewartville, Wanamingo, Pine Island, Rochester, Winona. So that's quite a distance to travel. We just played a team from the St. Charles area on Sunday, and so it does spread out a little bit, mostly to the east, but
Southeast too is where they've been really wet. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And we do get to play our nemesis from Waseca. They've been.
They have a terrific reputation up there for baseball and a legacy too as well.
Tank Clarkson does a very good job with it.
Is he still with them?
He is. He's no longer the on-field manager.
Okay.
But he still has a big influence on them. So.
Remember his name well. Now, we were talking before we started that just wondering how long the Owatonna Aces have been in existence, and you did some research, and it's incredible how long they've been here.
103 years now the Aces have been in existence.
I wonder how many people out there knew that.
Probably not a whole lot, but actually our full history is listed also on our webpage, and Derek Eady did a great job with researching that for me and setting it up. And going back into the 1910s, there was actually 7 town ball teams in Owatonna.
And that was, basically, like Leanne had mentioned, the entertainment, and that's how it became America's game for so long.
Yeah, and really, I mean, rather than driving up to the cities an hour and 15 minutes, paying $30 to watch a baseball game, you can come down here. It's we're very competitive. We're 10-1, so
that's 10-1.
Yeah,
great record. So then you had to start playoffs. You have high hopes this year with a record of 10-1.
Yes, we do. Actually, last year we were ranked 3rd in state, and we kind of we were unfortunate. We were unlucky in the playoffs, and we didn't
drop
make it.
The ball, so to speak.
Drop the ball, yeah, a little bit like that. More or less didn't swing the bats well. And this year, the guys, they are very, very competitive. Don't like losing whatsoever, and it doesn't really matter who I put on the field. Out of the 17 guys I have, I mean, they go out and they compete, and I mean, we all have high hopes to get to the state tournament. And
it always helps, too, if you have the fans in the stands behind you, because anyone who's been to the Owatonna high school games and that, they have a fan following in high school, it really makes a big difference. Don't stop. You need it here as well.
Right, yeah. The guys always ask, when are we going to have fans in the stands? And I said, well, we need to get a little more recognition. And Steve Zappa's been doing a great job for us. He's also on the board for the Bullpen Club. And we have a very good relationship with them right now, and he's helping us majorly with this. Good. And pass it along to your friends. They have a great year. Yep. And maybe even better if you come out and cheer them on and get someplace at state this year. And actually, we do have a night on July 2nd. It's Kids Night. All the kids on the Little League teams get to go on the field, and Tori's will be here selling beer and brats. Oh, that'll be fun. And that is a huge seller for us. July 2nd at what time? The game is at 7:30. 7:30. That is going to be a good time. Yep. So appreciate that. So thank you, Brian, for everything you could tell us about the Aces. So come on down and enjoy America's favorite pastime right here in Owatonna at Darts Field. Thank you for joining us. We'll go back to the studio now for a few words. For Leanne Alt, I am Betty Johnson.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Ann Plascanco here from Senior Place, and it's our 25th anniversary this year. We provide health and wellness programs, and one of those programs is massage therapy with Betsy Wright.
Yes, Repose Massage can give you pain and stress relief naturally, so make an appointment today.
Yes, and find out all the other programs and services we have to offer and join Senior Place today.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking 1 joint and 63% after smoking 2, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name's Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
On a beautiful sunny day out here at beautiful Cannon Lake, we're going to be talking kayaking with Marshall and Betsy Wright. And glad to have you along. You have quite the setup here we're going to talk about, especially for those people who might not, like myself, not up on everything kayaking, but have always been curious about it. And we know a lot of our viewers have probably might have thought about, how do I get into it? Or my grandkids or my kids might want to get into it. So we're going to tell you all about that. So first of all, Betsy, I want to ask you, how did you and Marshall become involved with the kayaking?
Well, it was kind of on a whim. When you live on a lake, you really want to get on the lake. And I was not really gravitating toward the powerboat, so I purchased this little Dagger, which is a recreational kayak. And that's often where people start with their kayaking. They may have tried canoes. A recreational kayak is most similar to a canoe with a nice big open cockpit.
So if someone wants to give it a try and they don't want to go out and buy one right away, is there someplace they can go where they can try it out or have some classes or something just to get an idea of what it's like?
Oh, absolutely. Many dealers have what's called demo days.
Okay.
There is also a store in Northfield called Gear Source where they rent sit-on-tops and recreational boats. And, it's something I would definitely recommend trying before you buy, because every boat handles differently, and it's like getting the right bicycle. You want the boat to fit you.
So you said it's different than canoeing. So as someone who does a lot of canoeing, they just can't transition from that to this.
The transition will be very smooth, but what the difference is, and Marshall can show you with those paddles, typically with a canoe you have a single blade paddle, but with a kayak it's a double blade.
Okay.
And in some cases, that's actually easier for people because you're not always paddling on one side, which tends to be what happens when people canoe together.
Right, you've seen them go from side to side that way. Now, if they're all enthusiastic about it and they said, I'm going to jump in and do some kayaking. What do you look for in a kayak? There's so many kinds out there.
The first thing I would have them do, if they can do it, if at all possible, is maybe take some introductory lessons before they even start shopping for kayaks. There is a club in the Twin Cities called SKOAC, which is Sea Kayak Outdoor Adventure Club. You don't have to get to the adventure part unless you want to, but they do offer introductory classes several times during the summer. So that would be my first thing. Or even if you take a land-based class from Marshall and me, you're going to get a lot of details that we can't present here.
Okay.
So the main thing about choosing a kayak is how do you intend to use it? And my first purchase was just to tool around Cannon Lake, so I didn't need a big boat.
And this is just plastic, right?
This is just a plastic boat. It's very forgiving. You can drag it around on rocks, and you don't have to worry about scarring up the fiberglass like you would on this higher performance boat.
It's also bigger. The opening is bigger.
Oh yeah,
well,
very forgiving, very easy to flop yourself into that one. With this one, it takes a little more technique to get into it.
Now, when it's that big, and you have to depend on the water if it's smooth. How do you stay afloat?
The recreational boat is surprisingly stable.
Okay.
And Marshall's just going to sort of flop himself into that one. And you can see he's not taking a whole lot of care to get into it.
Okay.
Now, if he were to get into that boat, he might have to brace himself with the paddle on the shore in order to maintain his upright position.
Or somebody holding it?
Or perhaps you can do that too. One of the main things I like to caution people on if they're going to buy a recreational boat, whether it's used or brand new, oftentimes there's not sufficient what's called flotation in the bow and the stern, or perhaps there's no flotation at all, and that's a really serious defect in a boat.
Okay, yes.
So one of the things you need to look for when you're purchasing a boat is either some closed cell foam in the bow or the stern, because if it's totally open, when that boat is being swamped like Marshall's doing now,
it's filling with water,
without flotation, bow and stern, that boat would sink, and you would never see it again, depending on how deep the water was.
There's a lot of water there. Even with his weight in there, it will still stay afloat?
It will, with his weight in there, it might be a little bit dicey, but when you're doing cold water kayaking, Yeah, see, I was thinking, well, maybe he'll keep it upright.
Yeah,
there
we go. It's a good thing it's shallow. Yeah. There we go.
A capsized boat or a boat full of water. The main thing is, especially if you're out in open water, which I do not recommend for novices, it's a much bigger target for people to find you. So you always try and stay with your boat, even if it's in a capsized position, or if you flip it over, you can kind of straddle it upside down easier than you can straight up.
And as long as we're talking about flotation, I noticed there's a specialized kind of, not your regular life jackets that people wear in boats. It's a different kind of life jacket that he has.
Well,
is that specially made, or will the other life jackets
life
work
jackets
as well?
are extremely important. The reason kayakers sometimes have what looks like a more specialized life jacket is because there is something called rolling your kayak back up.
Okay.
And you have to actually lay down on the back deck. So if you have a really deep life jacket, it's going to kind of get in the way of the rolling technique. So we always opt for as compact a life jacket as you can get. However, you have to realize that life jackets are 100% essential 100% of the time.
Yes.
Swimming as a way to save yourself is highly overrated, especially in cold water.
Okay, yes, hypothermia.
Hypothermia, and so that would be the next thing we really want to caution novices with is don't ignore getting a comfortable life jacket, because if it's comfortable, you're going to wear it all the time. If it's binding, you're not going to want to wear it, and you're going to kind of like, just stick it under my deck lines or something. And if you flip over and hit your head on something, the life jacket isn't going to do you any good on the deck lines.
Now I see Marshall is wearing something. Is that like a mini wetsuit, or is it special wetsuits for kayakers?
So wetsuits or dry suits are advised. The rule of thumb is you take the water temperature, say it's 50 degrees, and you take the air temperature and pretend it's 60. You add those two together, and that gives you 110.
Right.
Anything under 120, you should consider wearing a wetsuit.
Okay.
And if you're in a situation like Lake Superior, where the water temperature is always quite cold, you really want to dress for the water temperature, not the air temperature. So in Lake Superior paddling, oftentimes people wear dry suits, even in the summer, because if you flip over and you're out a ways, you could be in 45 or 50 degree water when it's 80 degrees outside.
Keeps you,
what the dry suit does is it prevents the water from wicking the warmth away from your skin. And so you wear like a layer underneath of it, and that is your insulating layer, and they will keep you probably from getting hypothermia for an hour and a half, depending on the conditions.
But if you want to go recreational tooling around here, can you just put on like a tank top and a shorts?
You can, but again, that all depends on those two numbers: temperature of the water, temperature of the air. And right now, we've had sort of a late spring. This water temperature, do you think it's 55 yet?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad. So, with the air temperature right now, we're probably at 55 degree water. We're probably at 75 or 80. So you could probably take a chance on not having a wetsuit. So, it would be optional.
And mentioning the weather, too, that is very crucial when you're out here.
Wind, water, waves, and current. Marshall and I are not certified as introing people to kayaks for river running. That's a whole different thing.
Different style.
Whitewater. We would recommend that novices only tackle what I call lazy rivers in the middle of summer. High water.
Nice even current.
A few little ripples are fine, but you never know what's around that bend unless you're ultra familiar with the river. And there are things called strainers. And if people are not real skilled, you can get into a strainer, and the pressure from that current will keep you there.
And probably having the buddy system too.
Oh, absolutely. Buddy system is
necessary,
very essential.
Yes, so it is. So we are getting short on time. Our time just goes so fast. Is there something that we haven't covered you want to touch base on here a little bit? For instance, we were looking at this great big long beautiful kayak. Now this is one that's not recreational. This is your main kayak when you want to do some heavy duty kayaking.
Yeah, this would be a performance boat, and this is what people call a serious boat in kayaking parlance. It's an NDK, and it's highly maneuverable, and it's very, very seaworthy. I could take that out in 6-foot swells and not have a problem.
And there's room in there to store things.
Absolutely, you can't put that.
So you wouldn't think so, and that looks so long and narrow.
They had to be tiny little packages that you put in there.
So, well, Betsy Marshall, we thank you for hosting us here today. Now, if someone wants some more information and wants to get in touch with you, how do they go about doing that?
canonlakester@gmail.com.
Okay, and I'm sure
we can post that.
we'll have that up on the screen as well. And I'm glad we had such a nice day to do this. So it makes me anxious to want to just jump in, I think.
Well,
eventually. Well, I've got an excuse, but so thank you once again.
Thank you.
We hope for a good kayaking season for
Yes,
you.
us too.
Out at Cannon Lake, I'm Betty Johnson.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back and have lots of announcements we'd like to pass along for you to make sure that if there's something you want to do in the upcoming days, you know where to go and find all the different events. The Steele County Historical Society is pleased to welcome physician and author Dr. Patrick Greenwood of Owatonna for a presentation coming up on Thursday, the 27th at 7 p.m. in the Wenger Room of the History Center, located at 1700 Austin Road in Owatonna. This July commemorates the sesquicentennial of the Battle of Gettysburg. Dr. Greenwood's lecture will be about Willis Twyford, MD, Civil War surgeon, legislator, and farmer doctor who practiced in Steele County. The admission to the lecture is free for the Steele County Historical Society members and $2 for non-members. And coming up Friday and Saturday, the 28th and 29th, is a big barn bash at the Steele County Fair. Lots of activities. Admission is free. Lots of kids' activities, lots of bands. There will also be a classic car, truck, and tractor show, which does have a $10 entry fee. For more information and for about all the different things going on and the times and you can dates, whether it's Saturday or Friday, you can call the Steele County Fair office. Also, Neighbor to Neighbor benefit brunch for the Hospitality House for Men is Saturday, June 29th at 10 a.m. at the Owatonna United Methodist Church. You do need to reserve, phone 451-4101. And they are still fundraising, but I should say starting fundraising for the 4th of July fireworks for next year. Of course, they're sponsored by the Early Edition Rotary Club, and those are fantastic fireworks, but they need your help for next year. You can contact John Helvelka at 456-0945 to keep those fireworks out there blazing away. Also, the Festival of Trees is coming up in November, but you can purchase a tree now. All you need to do for more information is call Lori Running at the ad office at 451-9769. And that is our show for this Monday. We hope you have a nice rest of the day. Be sure to join us on Wednesday when our guests will include Jody Boysen of the Fairview Animal Medical Center, and she's going to be talking about animal safety for the warm summer coming. And then we're going to be talking with Melinda Esty about the Scat Bus, and that's all coming up on Wednesday. So thank you for joining us. For Leanne Alt, I'm Betty Johnson, and this has been the Owatonna Today Show.